whole square formulas, which are a plus b whole square equals to a square plus 2ab plus b square. Okay, let's leave these. So this is the expansion of whole square formula, sum of whole square. And then this is the difference of whole square formula, a minus b whole square. And then we also have difference of square formula, which is a square minus b square equals to a plus b into a minus b, which we have covered yesterday. Okay, so a square minus 2ab plus b square. In completing the square method, we need to use one of these formulas depending on the given equation or expression, because you are not only supposed to solve it using completing the square method. Sometimes they may ask you to just simplify it or to turn it into in a form, which means that obviously an expression would be given to you in that kind of questions. Now, a plus b whole square equals to a square plus 2ab plus b square. And then we have a minus b whole square equals to a square minus 2ab plus b square. Starting off with the completing the square method, to solve quadratic equation, by its name, it is obvious that we need to complete the square. How? So let's take an example. A quadratic equation, x square plus 4x minus 16. Uh, let's take expression first. So what's that? This is a quadratic expression. How we get to know that it's a quadratic expression? Because the maximum power of variable, which is x here, the maximum power of variable is 2. Maximum power of variable is 2. Then obviously it's a quadratic, and because there is no equality sign, it means that it's an expression, not an equation. Now we need to apply completing the square method. So how? First of all, first step, let me write it in steps. First step, you need to first check out the coefficient of x square. If the coefficient of x square is positive 1, if coefficient of square is plus 1, move to step 2. Number 2. Okay, first step is if the coefficient of x square is plus 1, move to step 2. Otherwise, make it positive 1 by taking common. We'll see how this would work. Now, okay, students, purple highlighted equation here. What is the coefficient of x square in this highlighted equation?
One.
Plus
Positive 1? Yeah. Okay. So which means we need to move on to step 2. In step 2, we need to choose formula. Okay. Choose the formula. Which one of these two we need to pick here? And it depends on the coefficient of x. If coefficient of x is positive and if coefficient of x is negative. If the coefficient of x is positive, then we use the expansion of a plus b whole square. And if the coefficient of x is negative, we'll use a minus b whole square expansion. Now check, in purple equation, what is the coefficient of x?
positive.
Positive
Positive.
4? Positive 4? Okay. So let's start applying this formula without any element. Like for example, we need to use, that's the given equation. Let me write it again. X square plus 4x minus 16. So x square plus 4x minus 16. Is that minus 16? Yeah. Now we need to apply completing the square method. So after step 2, we get to know that we will use a plus b whole square expansion. So the expansion is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Is that the sum of whole square formula? A square plus 2ab plus b square, the first one. Okay. Now you need to understand that we need to fill these brackets with obviously with the appropriate variable or number. So, and because this is an expression, you must need to keep that in mind that it must be as same as the first step. There is no possibility that you can change those numbers because this is a given expression. Now, do you agree that A is X here in the expression?
Yes. Yes.
A. And this is the place of A, 2AB. Obviously, if A is X, there must be X as well. Agree? And the next place is for B. What should I write here to make it this entire term as 4x? Because we need to keep that in mind that we need to equate it with the previous given term when we are applying completing the square. So what turn 2x into 4x? Obviously, when multiplying it with the 2,
Yes. Yes.
if there would be a fraction here, or sometimes students they got confused at what to write in B. Always remember there is a trick here. B is always half of the coefficient of X. Just remember. Okay. B is what? B is always half of coefficient of X. So what is the coefficient of X in my expression? 4,
4,
and half of 4 is 2.
2.
So B is 2. Okay, done. And then 2 here as well. X square, A square plus 2AB plus B square written here as X square plus 2 times X times 2 plus 2 square. Any doubt until here?
No.
No.
Now check these terms one more time. This becomes this. Agree? Is there any difference between these two green highlighted terms?
No. No.
No.
Okay. I becomes this one. Any change
No.
mathematically?
No.
No. And obviously we have added this thing. Agree? As compared with the previous expression, this is something new. If I just write minus 16 here, do you agree that this is something new added to the expression?
Yes.
Because let
Yeah.
me show you why. Because minus 16 is already there. So because we are not allowed to make any changes to the question or to the expression. That's why the change that we made here, we also need to cancel it out mathematically. That's why I need to write minus 2 square. Why? Because finally this plus 2 square and minus 2 square would be cancelled and we are left with the same expression as given in the question. Agree or not?
Yes.
But the question is why we are doing it so, because we need to make it a complete square. Do you agree that this entire blue highlighted or blue underlined portion is a square plus 2ab plus b square? And that can
Yes.
be written in its obviously look, a square plus 2ab plus b square is equals to what? A plus b whole square,
Yes.
which means I can shrink it to a plus b whole square. Agree? This entire blue underlined would become this. Yes. And what about this one? Where it goes? We can write it as. So what is the square of 2? 4. That's how we solve completing the square method. Obviously, we have a lot of questions to do. This is just the first one. This is just an explanation. We have some topical questions, topical past paper questions for completing the square method on the left side of this page here. We'll solve it. You don't need to worry. Yes, students, I want you to let me know if you want me to explain it one more time. Yes, Aline, Ishal, Asbah, Arij.
No, sir, it's good.
Good. But let me go through these steps and then we'll jump on to the questions, okay? So for the completing square, these two whole square formulas You must need to remember these formulas. A plus b whole square equals to a square plus 2ab plus b square, and a minus b whole square equals to a square minus 2ab plus b square. And for completing the square, the first step is to check the coefficient of x square. If the coefficient of x square is plus 1, then it's okay. Move on to the second step. And if the coefficient of x square is not plus 1, you must need to make it 1 by taking any number common, take it outside the bracket. We'll solve that kind of question. And if it's positive 1, just like in over here in this case where I have an expression as x squared plus 4x minus 16, a quadratic expression, we need to move on to step 2. In step 2, they say that to choose the formula, or either you are going to apply a plus b whole square expansion, or you are going to apply a minus b whole square expansion. So because the coefficient of x is positive, over here we applied this a plus b whole square formula, and you don't need to write anything in the brackets because you'll fill out those brackets later on afterwards, because you need to balance it with the given expression. So my given expression was x squared plus 4x minus 16. So it's obviously a is over here. A is x, and b is the half of the coefficient of x, which is 4. So half of 4 is 2. So I filled those brackets with a, b here. And then just to balance the equation, I need to subtract minus 2 squared, because that was something which was added later on in the expression and must need to be balanced. Students, do you understand why we subtracted 2 whole square?
Yes.
Okay, so this was the expression. We will encounter some of the equations where we need to solve the value of x as well. Okay, now starting off with the first question here, we'll not solve part 2 because part 2 is not in your content. It is something which is called quadratic graphs, but we do have part A here for the completing square. They will not ask you to complete the square, rather they will ask you most of the time. Sometimes they would ask you to complete the square, but most of the time eh, the question would appear like this, that to write the given quadratic equation into a certain form. Is that a quadratic equation, students?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, the
Yes.
quadratic equation is over here. Do we have the coefficient of x square as positive?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, the coefficient of x square is positive 1. Now, moving on to next step, what is the coefficient of x? Is that negative?
It's positive. Yes.
No,
The
negative
no, it's
8.
negative. Oh, that's negative.
Yeah, it's negative, okay? So because it is negative, we are going to use this expansion, which is equals to a minus b whole square. Now, do we just need to put brackets here? A square minus 2ab plus b square. So a is x, agree? And what should be b? To get b just in quicker way, remember b is half of the coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x? Is that 8? So b must be half of 8, which is 4. Agree?
Yes.
And plus 21 is already there. So remember, this turns into this has turned into this. Agree? This entire, this one. 21 was already there. So we added what? Plus 4 square. We must need to subtract this as well. Is it balanced with the equation above, the expression above? And then this can be written as a minus b whole square, where a is x in my expression and b is 4. Agree?
Yes.
Yes.
And then minus 4 square is minus 16 plus 21. Agree? The purple shaded line, the purple underlined one.
Yes.
Okay, now to simplify it, x minus 4 whole square plus 5.
Yes.
Is it written in this in the form they want us to write? So what is the value of a?
4. 4.
Exactly
Negative 4.
4. No, no, 4, because negative is already there. Negative
Okay.
a is negative a is equals to negative 4, which means a equals to 4.
Yes.
And what's b?
5. 5.
Fine. A is 4 and b is 5. Doubt, students?
No.
No doubt at all? So let's move on to the next question here. We have the second part is not related to our content. We're leaving it. Moving on to this one. Now, is that an expression or an equation?
Equation.
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 Equation. Equation.
So we'll have two ways to solve it. Rather, we have three ways to solve it. No, no, two ways. First, first of all, this is not a completing square method. We'll not use. We can use, but okay. Now, first of all, let me solve it with a quadratic formula. Okay.
Okay.
Second method, quadratic formula. To solve it through quadratic formula and to provide the answer or correct to the three significant figures, first of all, I need to convert it into standard form of a quadratic equation. It is not written in the standard form of a quadratic equation. So let me expand this bracket. A minus b whole square is a square minus 2ab plus b square. Agree?
Yes. Yes.
And then
Yes.
this 3 moves to the other side. It becomes x square minus 4x plus 1 equals to 0. Is it in a standard form now?
Yes.
Is this the standard form? So what is the value of a?
1.
A is positive 1 because when there is nothing, there is always 1. So a is 1, b is
Negative 4.
negative 4, and c is
Positive 1.
positive 1. What is the quadratic formula? X equals to minus b plus minus root of b square minus 4ac over 2a. And then we substitute the values. B is minus 4 plus minus b square is minus 4 square, and minus 4ac. A is 1. Let me write plus 1 here. And c is 1 as well. And then we have 2 times a, which means 2 times 1. And in that way, we'll get two answers here, one with the positive and the other with the negative. And I'm going to use my calculator, mod 5 3, and the value of a, need to put here 1, value of B is minus 4, value of C is plus 1. I'm getting first value as 3.732. 3 point, and we need to write the answer, three significant figures. 3.732, so 3.73. And then the other answer as 0.2679, so 0.2679, so 268. Well, students,
No.
no, so that was the solution using the quadratic formula. Now let's check out another solution. So we have x minus 2 whole square equals to 3. Do you agree with that? Is that the given equation?
Yes.
I'm taking square root on both sides. Why? Because I want to cancel this square on x. Agree? And remember that whensoever we take square root, there must be a positive and negative sign written on here when it is not going to be cancelled. Look, why I didn't write here? Because this would finally going to be cancelled. Square would be cancelled with the square root, okay? But over here it's a number. So x minus 2 equals to plus minus root 3. And when we have two answers, x equals to minus 2 when it moves to the other side becomes plus 2. Agree? Then we have two answers. One answer is x equals to one with the positive one. So what is 2 plus under root 3? 3.732 will be 3.73. And 2 minus under root 3 is 0.2.
0.267.
2679, so 268. These are the two answers. Are they same as the other method? Check.
Sir, is it possible if we only use a quadratic formula method?
Yes, obviously, when they ask you to write the answer in three significant figures, obviously they are not asking you to solve it through the completing square method. The reason is how you can get the answer in three significant figures without calculator. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's move on here. Now this is an expression again.
Sir,
Yes.
in question 2, the second way that we solved it, what was that method called?
Nothing, just taking square root on both sides. Actually, that's the quickest. That's called factorization. Simple. There is no
Okay.
method involved actually in in method number 2. If you check out, it's just the square root that we took. Do you understand? So sometime,
Yes.
look, why there is no method involved. Let me explain you why there is no method involved in method number 2. Why there is no formula involved. Because check out the given expression. Don't you think that the given expression is already written in a whole square or a completing square form? Is it written in a completing square form? Check. So look, didn't we do the same thing here by completing the square? Check. We write it as x minus 4 whole square plus 5. Is that our answer for the previous question? X minus 4 whole square plus 5. Now in the
Yes.
next question, the quadratic expression is already gone through the completing square, and the version that is written here in question number 2 of quadratic equation, it is already a complete square. Is that
Yes.
already a complete square? So that's why half of the method is already done. So that's why we started off directly from the step where we take the square root on both sides and we'll solve questions here where we'll solve. Look, let me show you here. First, let's solve question number 5. You'll get to know what I'm exactly referring to. Check. So we have x squared minus 6x minus 8. First step, is the coefficient of x squared plus 1?
Yes.
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 Second one, is the coefficient of x positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative, which means we
Negative.
need to use this formula, a square minus 2ab plus b square, that is equals to a minus b whole square. Yes. So a square minus 2ab plus b square. A is obviously x. A is x, then b must be half of the coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x? 6.
Six. Negative
Half of
six.
6 is 3. So half of 6 is 3. So b must be 3. We added this one, so we must need to subtract it. And then we have minus 8 already there. Let me know if you have any doubt. This is this. Then we have minus 6x here. Split it into minus 2x times 3. And then we have minus 8, minus 8. Students, any doubt? Zero is also there, by the way. Did we made any change? No, because this would be obviously, wait, yeah. So
Sir, could you
obviously this would,
explain the step you just did again?
okay. So first step is to check out the coefficient of x square. Is that positive one?
Yes.
Okay. If it is not positive one, you need to turn it into positive one. We'll discuss some question later on where look over here. Is the coefficient of x square positive one?
No.
No, so we'll solve this question later on, okay? But if the coefficient of x square is positive, then you need to check the formula, which formula to use. Now, to check which formula to use, you need to check the coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x?
Coefficient of x is 6.
Minus 6. So do we have a negative coefficient of x?
Yes.
So for negative, we use negative formula, a minus b whole square. And for positive, if the coefficient of x is positive, we use positive formula.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know that we have two formulas? I have already explained. We have two formulas. This one, a plus b whole square and a minus b whole square. A plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square, and a minus b whole square is a square minus 2ab plus b square. So over here, the first step is to check if the coefficient of x square is positive. Okay, yes, it is positive. Then the coefficient of x, wait a second, we're solving fifth. Yeah, so the coefficient of x is negative. Yes, it is negative. So that's why we are going to use a negative formula, which is a minus b whole square, a square minus 2ab plus b square. And then we write it empty brackets here with a square minus 2ab plus b square. And then we fill out those brackets. And we need to do that in a way that it would not conflict with the given question. So do you find the question and this term in this equation that I have right in the first step same exactly?
Yes.
Yes, because finally plus 3 square would be cancelled with the minus 3 square. But what's the reason behind why we do that? We do that to make a complete square. Do you think this black underlined expressions are the expansion of a minus b whole square?
Yes.
That can be written
Yes.
as a minus b whole square. A is x, b is what? 3. So a minus b whole square is x minus 3 whole square. Yes, students.
Yes.
And then what about this purple underline ones? Minus 3 square is minus 9 minus 8 equals to 0. Minus 17. Yes, please. Understand from where this comes from.
Sir, how did you do the step where you took x square minus 2x and bracket 3 and you turned it into x minus 3 square?
Asba, focus, okay? Students, please focus. Let's start one more time. Okay, students, so most of the students they find completing the square method difficult just because they don't know the basics. First of all, do you all know the two formulas that we use, which is a plus b whole square equals to a square plus 2ab plus b square? And then we have a minus b whole square that is equals to a square minus 2ab plus b square. Yes, everybody? Asba?
Yes.
Okay. Now check out here. What is the given equation? Given equation is x square minus 6x minus 8 equals to 0. We have two ways to solve this question. Factorization or completing the I don't think so it could be solved with the factorization. Do we have any factors that multiply to give 8 and added up to give minus 6? No. So obviously you can't solve it using factorization. Second method is quadratic formula. Yes, you can use quadratic formula to solve this one. But over here we are using completing the square method. Okay. Now focus on what is the completing the square method. So in completing square method, we use either this formula or this one. And we need to complete the square. How will complete the square? The first step is to check out the coefficient of x square. What is the coefficient of x square?
Plus 1.
Positive one.
Positive 1. If the coefficient of x square is positive 1, then apply the formula. Now the question is which formula to apply, and what if the coefficient of x square is not plus 1? If the coefficient of x square is not plus 1, you need to take that number out of the bracket to make the coefficient of x square positive 1. We'll solve the question number 6 for that. But right now just focus that the coefficient of x square is positive 1. So now we need to apply the formula. The question is which formula to apply, and the answer is what is the coefficient of x? Do you agree that the coefficient of x is negative 6?
Yes.
Then we
Yes.
use, because of negative, we use this formula. Second one. How? Like this. We just write empty brackets. A square minus 2ab plus b square. Is that this formula? Yes?
Yes.
Now we need to fill
Yes.
out these brackets in a way that it would not conflict with the given equation or expression. Is that the given equation, the purple one? Now, according to this equation, do you agree that A, which this is the place of A and B and B, do you agree that in the place of A we have X?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is again the place of AX. What must be B? The easiest way to understand what is B is that B is always half of this number, that is the coefficient of X. Coefficient of X is 6. Half of 6 is 3. Agree?
Yes.
And then this is also the place of B, so we put B, 3 here. Now please focus here. After doing it so, we get to know that this is this, agree? This
Yes.
become, this one we minus 6x, we split it into minus 2 times x times 3, agree?
Yes.
And
Yes.
then we have minus 8 as well here, equals to 0, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Obviously, this is something alien that comes from outside that wasn't there in the equation before. So that's why to keep it balanced, we must need to do the opposite of that, which is we added up plus 3 square. That's why we subtracted it, because finally mathematically they would be cancelled. And we have, there is nothing different here than the given equation. Agree?
Yes.
Yes.
But what is the use? Why we did that? Why we follow these steps? Because if you check out, do you agree this black underline terms are the expanded form of a minus b whole square? And when I write a minus b whole square, shrinking the above three terms, a is x minus b is 3. Agree? Don't you think that this entire is equals to this one?
Yes.
A square minus 2ab plus b square. Do we have this a square minus 2ab plus b square? B. And then what is the purple underline thing? Minus 9 minus 8 equals to 0. Agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Then x minus 3 whole square minus 17 equals to 0.
Yes.
Then x minus 3 whole square equals to 17.
Yes.
Yes.
Agree? Now, do you understand that in the previous question, it right off start from this step, which means that the completing square is already done with this one. Agree? Is that the same kind? X minus 2 whole square equals to 3, and I reach 2x minus 3 whole square equals to 17.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why there was no method to define. Method 2 is just we'll follow the same steps now. Check. We'll follow the same steps to get the answer. What step? Square root on both sides. Do you remember we started off the second method right from here?
Yes.
Yes.
So that method is nothing. It is just a square root. It is not called method. Method is already done before. Someone already completed the square for, so this square would be cancelled with this square root, and we got x minus 3 equals to plus minus root 17, and x equals to 3 plus minus under root 17, because when 3 move to the other side, it must be, it must become positive. Agree?
Yes.
And what did they ask us to, how to answer it? Do you agree they want us to answer it in a plus minus b form, square root b form? Is that the same form we got?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, asba.
Yes.
Now, no doubt.
Yes, it's clear now.
Okay, now let's move on to the next question, which is a unique of its kind because until now we haven't solved any question with the coefficient of x square, which is non-positive one. Yes, now here, so an expression is given and they want you to find turn that into a different form. Okay, first step, do we have a coefficient of x square as positive 1 here?
No.
No.
No, which
No.
means we need to make to turn it into. So how I will make it positive 1? I'll take 2 common. Do you agree when we take 2 common it will become x square plus 8x plus 35 over 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyone who didn't understand how we took this number common and why it's 35 over 2 or 8x in the bracket, let me know. I'll explain it. Don't hesitate.
Me.
Halima, you have doubt?
Yeah.
Okay, Halima, check. 2x square plus 16x plus 35. We are taking 2 out of the bracket. So obviously, you know this thing that this 2 is common. Agree? Do you know that we are taking it common? Writing
Yes.
bracket means to take it common. So obviously, out of 2x square, what we are left if 2 goes out?
Oh, x square.
Okay. Out of 16x, if 2 goes out, what left? Remember that this is when it come back into the bracket, it multiplies. So what we left with, do you agree we left with 8x because 2 goes out. When it comes back in, it multiplied with 2 times 8. That makes it 16.
Yeah.
And then out of 35, do you agree that obviously this must be written here as 17.5 because 17.5 times 2 is 35. So either you write it 17.5 or you write it 35 over 2. When this 2 would come back and multiplied with 35 over 2, they would be cancelled and we're left with 35, same number. Understand now?
Yes.
So that's how we take this 2 common here. And when we took 2 common here, now students check, do we have the coefficient of x square positive 1 inside the bracket?
Yes.
Yes.
So we'll perform our further operations within the bracket. And what operations? So we have the coefficient of x square as positive 1. Okay, now we need to choose the formula. Now to choose the formula, we need to check the coefficient of x. Is the coefficient of x positive?
Yes.
So because the coefficient of x is positive, we'll write the positive formula, that is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Agree?
Yes.
Yes.
What is a?
X.
What must be b?
4. 8. 8.
4. 4. Half of the coefficient of x. Half of the coefficient of x means half of 8. B must be half of 8. Half of 8 is 4. And then we have b square. Agree?
Yes.
And then we added this plus 4 square, so we must need to subtract it as well. And 35 over 2 is already there. Yes, students, do you understand that? We need to again highlight those things here. So x square is x square here. Then we have plus 8x plus 8x. Halima, keep your microphone mute because you have a lot of background noise there. Okay?
Yeah.
And if you want to ask any question, you can unmute your mic. It's okay. You can interrupt me. Yes, students, do you understand this now? Again,
Yes.
And then we know that this black underline is the black underline is the expanded form of a plus b whole square. Agree?
Yes.
Which means a plus b whole square. What is a? A is x. What is b? B is 4. A plus b whole square is x plus 4 whole square. Agree?
Yes.
And then this one is the purple one. This one. Agree? Now you
Yes.
can use, because you are allowed to use calculator. Now you can use your calculator. Minus 16 and plus 35 over 2 means 17.5. So obviously it must be 33.5. No, minus 16 plus 35 over, is that 35 over 2? 35 over 2 is 17. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we have 3 over 2, positive 3 over 2 because minus 16 plus 17.5. Okay.
Okay.
1.5, which is plus 3 over 2. Now check. Now we need to multiply this 2 inside the bracket back. So obviously it will multiply with x plus 4 whole square and also with this 3 over 2. Agree? When we expand the bracket.
Yes. Yeah.
So what we are left with? 2 into x plus 4 whole square plus 3. Is it the form they want from us? A into x
Yes.
plus b whole square plus c.
Yes.
A into x plus b whole square plus c. What is what they want where a, b, and c are integers? So what is a?
2.
Two.
A is 2, b is 4, and c is
Three. Three.
3. Don't doubt. No doubt. Okay, so this is
No.
your class task. You must need to. I'll ask you your answer. This is a class task. So how many students do we have here? We have one, two, three, four, five, six. Aline, Arij, Aspa, Ishal, Halima, and Irha. This is your class task. You have 5 minutes and you need to solve this one, and turn by turn I would ask you for your answers. Okay? Visible enough? Not.
Done. Done.
Done. Done.
Sorry, my microphone was mute. Okay, so Irha done, Arish done, Ishal done, and Aline done. Halima also done?
Yes.
I'm also done.
Yes. Okay, so starting with Asba. Asba, what's your answer?
I got the answer x plus 1 whole square minus 9.
Okay, so Halima, what's your answer?
X plus 1 whole square minus 9.
Okay, Aline.
X plus 1 whole square minus 9. I also got that.
Okay, Irha, same.
X
Arish,
plus 1,
same.
yes.
Okay, anyone who got this on a
Hmm.
different answer than this one? No one?
Sir, instead of -9, I got +9. X plus 1 whole square, +9.
Maybe you made a mistake here. Or, okay, let me just have quick uh,
This question.
explanation that why you have got plus 9
First,
minus. Yes.
first I got -9 because according to the steps, and then I saw in the question was written in the form of x plus m whole square plus 9. So I changed the values of the thing that we add with the squares, and yeah.
These are the steps. A is x, B is 1. Yes, students, do you all get B as 1?
Yes.
Yes.
X plus 1 whole square
Yes.
minus 1. Yeah, that is the answer. Simple. Okay.
Okay.
Minus 1 square and minus 1 square is minus 1 because it is not the whole square of minus 1. Minus was outside the bracket. So 1 square is 1. So when we expanded the bracket, it becomes like this.
But
Students, do you
sir,
have,
does
yeah?
it match the form? Because it says plus n and then we're getting minus.
No, it's not like that. Let me tell you. We are getting what? We are getting x plus 1 whole square minus 9. Okay? And they want us to write it in this form x plus m whole square plus n. Now please focus here. What is the value of m? Tell me what is the value of m? Plus
1.
1. And what is the value of n?
-9.
Yes. Do you understand now?
Yes.
Sir, how do we get to know that we have to like first divisible by 2, or and like when do we have to do this, like?
You mean the one that the step that we follow here, taking two common?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
looks that is very simple. If the coefficient of x, look, what is the coefficient of x square here? Is that plus 1?
Yes.
So we directly started off. But check over here. Is the coefficient of x square plus 1 here?
No.
So that's why we need to make it 1 and check. When I take 2 common from the entire expression, did I got +1 as the coefficient of x square inside the bracket?
Yes.
And then we started off with the formula. So the first step is to check whether the coefficient of x square is +1 or not. If it is +1, okay, proceed, use the formula. But if it's not 1, then you need to make it 1. And that's why in question number 6, it wasn't 1, the coefficient of x square. That's why we started off with taking 2 as common and then the bracket things.
Okay.
Okay. So Students, any doubt understanding completing the square method?
No.
No, we are done with all of the quadratic things. That includes completing the square method, quadratic formula, factorization. We have discussed a lot of factorization and quadratic formula yesterday. Now I'm going to move on to the coordinate geometry, and then later on with after the coordinate geometry we'll solve similarity. That is the part of your content. Okay, we'll solve some easy and difficult questions from similarity in a way that it will cover the volume of similar objects and the area of similar objects, how to find the area and volume of similar objects, and how to find the corresponding sides, height, length of the similar objects. Before that, we'll solve quickly, we'll review the coordinate geometry thing here. Okay. Do you have perpendicular and parallel lines, Irha, in syllabus content for the assessment?
Yes, sir.
Do you have this distance formula and midpoint as well?
Yes.
Okay. So just I need 5 minute break, and after 5 minutes we're going to start with the coordinate geometry. Next 30 minutes we'll focus on to coordinate geometry. 30 to 45 minutes depending if we have if you people would have more doubts, we'll solve more questions, and then after the coordinate geometry we'll work on to the similarity. That is the last topic. Is that the only content you people have in your assessment coming in your assessment?
We also have simultaneous equations.
Okay, we'll solve simultaneous equation after
We
similarity.
we also have graphs.
Graphs? Which graphs? Quadratic graphs?
Like in coordinate geometry, the graphs we
Yeah,
have.
yeah. Obviously we'll cover that in coordinate geometry. After the break, we are going to start coordinate geometry. These graphs, you mean, where you need to find slope and gradient? Obviously.
Sir, the quadratic graphs and the reciprocal other ones as well.
Which one? The quadratic graphs?
Yes, and reciprocal and
Sir, there are
cubic.
many different kind of graphs.
Okay. Ira, I suppose initially what the content that you have shared with me doesn't include quadratic graphs.
Yes, sir, it was in the coordinate geometry and we did it in class. The exercises that I sent you that includes the graphs.
I'll try to cover, but that is much more to cover because that's a separate, complete topic to understand how to. And you people are allowed with the calculator. One issue with most of
Yep.
you are that you do not have Casio 991 ES, which helps you a lot for drawing the graphs or plotting the graphs. But in yesterday's class, I think 3 or 4 students they have different calculators. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just have a 5 minute break. After 5 minutes, I'm going to start coordinate geometry and then similarity and then simultaneous equation, and we'll see what time left with the quadratic graph. We'll have a quick 1 or 2 questions from quad. I'll tell you the basics of quadratic graphs. Okay. So let's have 5 minute break. We'll be back after 5 minutes. Try not to leave the meeting because once then when you'll join it back, I have to admit all of you turn by turn during the lecture. So better you can keep your microphone mute and leave your seat, go hydrate yourself, drink some water, and be back after 5 minutes. Thank you. Yes, students, am I audible?
Yes.
Am I Isha? Okay, students, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with the coordinate geometry before we solve questions from coordinate geometry. I think we need to move that sheet. Coordinate geometry. Okay, let's start. So what is coordinate geometry all about? What are the coordinates? So coordinates are the x and y point on the graph. You know that this is how a graph looks like. Towards right, we have positive x points. So we have positive x axis to the right of the origin. To the left of the origin, we have negative x points. And this is a 2D graph, two-dimensional graph where we have x as one dimension and y as the other dimension. And above the origin, we have positive y points. Below the origin, we have negative y points. And geometry, what does the word geometry means? Geometry means, geo means the earth or the ground or the location or the plane. So coordinate geometry, what is the application of coordinate geometry? Obviously, you have already used GPS maps or Google Maps. Agree? So Google Maps, they work on the principle of coordinate geometry. So the entire globe is a kind of a graph where we locate different points, different cities, cafeterias. Obviously, when you use the Google map to locate any position, that map, the fundamental of that map uses the coordinate geometry. So coordinates, we have x and y coordinate. We write x coordinate first and comma the y coordinate of any specific point on the graph. Now, what is slope? Slope is the steepness of a line, that how much the one end is higher than the other. So obviously slope also means gradient, steepness, either you call it steepness, gradient or slope, all means same. So if slope or gradient means the steepness of a line, which means that how much one end of the line is higher than the other end. So do you agree that flat lines they have zero slope because they are not steeper? They are flat. So always remember that we call the flat horizontal line. Remember, if something is in x-axis, we call it horizontal. And if the object's height or if the object is in y-axis, we call it as vertical axis. So remember, y-axis is also called as vertical axis and x-axis is also called as horizontal axis. So do you agree with me that a flat line, a horizontal line where it has both endpoints on the same level, do you agree that the slope of that line is zero? The gradient of that
Yes.
line is zero? Obviously. And we represent this slope or gradient with an alphabet m. Lowercase m represent the slope or gradient of any line or maybe curve as well, but curves are not here. We are not discussing curves here. Remember, just like a flat horizontal line has zero slope or gradient, always remember that vertical line have infinity slope. Infinity means the math error 1 over 0 or whatever you call it. So this sign represent infinity. Infinity means infinite, unlimited. Okay, so we represent slope with the lowercase m. What is the difference between a line segment and a line? Line has no end point. It keeps on going on and on the either side. That's why we always represent line with the two arrows on the either ends. But a line segment means part. So line segment means part of line. And obviously line segment, if it's a part of line, obviously it must have two end points. Just like over here, we have line AB and line CD. So girls, do you understand the difference between a line and a line segment?
Yes.
Okay. Now moving back here, remember that flat horizontal lines, they have zero gradient or zero slope, and vertical lines, they have infinite slope. Okay. Now moving back to the coordinates system, which is the grid here, the graph. Do you see that red line? It starts off the origin and then it ends up on 3 comma 5. Agree?
Yes.
So let me shade that line here with the purple. Okay, do you see this purple shaded line? This is a red line. One one point of this line segment is at origin. Origin is 0 comma 0 where x and y both points are 0 and the other end point, the other point of this line is at 3 comma 5, which means 3 in the x-axis and 5 in the y-axis. Do you agree with me that the 5 point is 3 and x point is, sorry, y point is 5 and x point is 3?
Yes.
Okay. Now, few more things to recall here. In your lower grades, like in 5th grade or in 6th grade or maybe in 7th grade, you have gone through this formula which says that slope or gradient is equals to rise over run. Do you remember that? Rise over run is how we find gradient or slope in lower grades. Agree? What does rise means? Rise means, do you agree that rise means how much it rises up in the y-axis? Rise means rise represent y-axis. Agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Because we rise when we step inside an elevator, we rises. In which axis we are performing that motion? Y axis.
Y.
So that's why we call it rise. And what about run? When we run horizontally on ground, means x-axis. Do you agree that run represent the x-axis? That's
Yes.
how we run. That's when we step inside an elevator, we rises. When we run in this way. So rise means the how much vertically it changed, and run means how much horizontally it changes. Okay. Now, do you agree that the rise of this line is 5 minus 0? Because it started off from the origin and it reached to 5 vertically.
Yes.
Do you all agree that rise is 5 minus 0? Rise is 5
Yes.
for this red line.
Yes.
Obviously, rise is 5 for this red line. And how we get this rise? Simply, we subtract 5 minus 0. 5 was x2, sorry, y2. 5, we took 5 as y2. And then y1 is 0. Agree? So y2 minus, that's how we got 5 minus 0. Y2 minus y1, the rise. Similarly, check out the run. So what is the run of this red line? Do you agree that the run of this red line is 3 because it reaches to x point 3 starting off from 0th? So run is x2 minus x1. X2 is 3 and x1 is 0. So 3 minus 0 is 3. And even with the simply with the graph, you see here that in x-axis, this red line is covering a distance of 3. So do you understand that rise is y2 minus y1 and run is x2 minus x1, which is 5 minus 0 and 3 minus 0? Students,
Yes.
exactly. So the lower grade formula, which was rise over run, now in IGCSE, it would turn to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 because y2 minus y1 means rise and x2 minus x1 means run. Okay. And that's how we calculated the slope, which comes out to be 5 over 3. So slope or gradient or steepness of this line is 5 over 3. Agree?
Yes.
Any doubt in understanding slope or gradient?
No. No.
No? Now let's
No.
move on to the standard form of a linear equation. Remember, in this coordinate geometry, we have two forms. The first form of equation is y equals to mx plus c, where m is the slope. Do you know how to find the slope? Yes, is that m y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1? Is that how we find the slope or gradient?
Yes.
And
Yes.
what is C? C is the y-intercept. What is y-intercept? Y-intercept means where the line crosses the y-axis. That y point is C because x point is 0. Why x point is 0? Because remember on y-axis all the x points are 0 and on x-axis all the y points are 0. You need to remember this thing because when they ask you to form an equation given the information, always remember that on y-axis all the x points are always 0 and on the x-axis all the y points are always 0. And remember that where the line cuts the y-axis, we call it as y-intercept, and where the line cuts the x-axis, we call it as x-intercept. Always remember that to find y-intercept, we substitute x as 0 because x coordinates are always 0 on the y-axis. That's how we find the y-intercept, by substituting the x in x value 0. And to find x-intercept, we do vice versa. We substitute y as 0 because on x-axis all the y coordinates are 0. So x-intercept means where the line cuts the x-axis, and y-intercept means where the line cuts the y-axis. And always remember that the y coordinate represents the y-intercept, which is represented with the c in the equation y equals to mx plus c. And in x-intercept, remember the x value represent the x-intercept because y value is 0. So y equals to mx plus c is the standard form. It is also called as slope intercept form. Why it is called as slope intercept form? Because we have slope and intercept here in this equation, or in this standard form, or in this formula. Do you agree we have slope and intercept here? Y-intercept here?
Yes.
So that's why it is
Yes.
called slope intercept form. We also have another form of this formula, and that is this slope formula itself. M equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus y x1 is also called as point slope form. Why it is called as point slope form? Because we have slope. Do we have slope m here? Yes.
Yes.
And do we have points x1, x2, y1, y2 here? That's why it is called point slope form. And this is only for the linear equations. What are linear equations? Linear equations means where the maximum power of variable is 1. These formulas are only applicable to lines. Lines represents linear equations with the maximum power of variable as 1. So all these equations in which we have dealt, or in which will deal now, they all would be, obviously they all will be linear equations. Now the few last concepts about the entire, I'll cover the entire coordinate geometry in maybe 10 more minutes. So the next thing is the parallel and perpendicular lines. Always remember that slope of parallel lines are always equal. Do you see the two parallel lines L1 and L2 on the left hand side of the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
They are parallel, and that is why their slopes are always equal. Have you ever seen railway tracks?
Yes.
So
Yes.
do you agree that they are parallel?
Yeah.
How do you define
Yes.
parallel lines? Yes.
They're
How
Two
do you
equal.
lines
Always equal.
with equal period.
always
They do
equal?
not
Why
intersect
always equal?
with each other.
Exactly. That's how we define parallel lines. As told by Irha, parallel lines are those lines which never intercept, which never cross each other. Is it correct with the railway tracks? They usually they do not cross. What about the lines on the page? That's like these lines on the background. Do you think they are parallel?
Yes.
Yes, they are parallel. So
Yes.
always remember that parallel lines that, okay, what about a ladder? Two sides of the ladder, they are also parallel. So remember that parallel lines, they never meet. And that's why they are equally steeper. Agree?
Yes.
And that's why their slope is always equal. Now come on to the perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines means when the two lines are at right angle to each other. Right angle to each other means when they are at 90-degree. So do you find L1 and L2 intercepting or crossing each other at 90 degrees?
Yes.
Exactly. Always remember, students, that if the two lines are perpendicular to each other, which means if they are at 90-degree, then their slopes are negative reciprocal of each other. For example, over here we have L1 perpendicular to L2. So the slope of L1 is M1 and M1 must be equal to negative 1 over M2, which means negative reciprocal. Now, you may be wondering why, like that's a bit difficult to understand. What is a negative reciprocal? Let me tell you an easy hack with this example. Look, if you have a slope of M1, and you need to find the slope of M2. Let's suppose we have M1 as 3 over 5. Suppose they provide us with the slope, or we find out the slope of line L1, which is M1 as 3 over 5. And then you want to write the slope of line 2, which is M2. Simply change the sign. What do we have here as sign? Positive. Change the sign. The positive would be changed to what? Negative.
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 And then flip the fraction. Vertically flip the fraction. Is that a vertical flip that makes it 3 over 5 to 5 over 3?
Yes.
This is called negative reciprocal. Okay. So just for your information, just let me unshare my screen just for a few seconds. I need to remove few answers. We'll ask you questions so that to let you understand, like most of the students, they make mistake while writing the slopes of the perpendicular line. But with this practice, I'm pretty sure that you people would never have a wrong slope. Okay, starting off with the Irha. Irha, slope of M1 is -5. So what would be the slope of M2?
Minus 1 over 5. Minus 5.
Minus minus 1 over 5?
Minus, yes.
Minus 1 over 5. Okay. So Ishal, is she correct?
Yes.
Okay. Aline,
Yes.
Harij, correct? She's not there. Okay. Asba,
Yes.
Yes.
Halima.
Sir, they're perpendicular, right?
Yeah, they are perpendicular, obviously.
Yeah, then that's right.
Okay. Arij, I think you have an objection here.
Um, sir, I'm just give me one second.
Okay. So let's ask Sumaya. Sumaya, am I audible to you? Sumaya, am I audible to you? Okay. So girls, this one is wrong. You all answered this that yes, that's correct. Now, what I told here, what you need to do, don't you need to change the sign and then flip it?
It's supposed to be 1 divided by 5 only.
Yes, because the sign is negative. So we change that sign to positive and then flip the fraction. Yes, Irha, you got your mistake. 1 over 5 is correct, but the
Yes.
sign is wrong. Okay, now let's move on and ask Asba. Asba, if the slope of M1 is 2 over 5 and if line 1 is perpendicular to line 2, what must be the slope of M2? Yes, Asba. If L1 is perpendicular, that's the sign we use for perpendicular lines. If L1 is perpendicular to L2, then and if M1 is 2 over 5, what must be M2? Vishal,
Yes.
what must be M2?
Negative 5 over 2 because like the perpendicular lines have like negative
Exactly.
reciprocal.
Exactly. Negative. So what's the rule? Simple. Change the sign from positive. It turns negative and then we flip the fraction. So students, do you understand how we got negative 5 over 2 as the slope of M2?
Yes.
What would be this one? Minus 6 over 7.
7/6.
Positive 7 over 6. What must be 7?
-7.
Oh, change the sign and
1 over 7?
reciprocate. Exactly. Flip the fraction. Don't you think that 7 means 7 over 1?
Yes.
So we flip the fraction. Okay. What about next one? Minus 3 over
2
2.
positive 2 over positive 3.
Yeah, which means 2 over 3. Students doubt in understanding the slope of the perpendicular lines.
Mm.
Just change the sign and flip the fraction. And what about the slope of parallel lines? They are always
They are always equal.
Equal.
or they are always equal. Now, last few things for the coordinate geometry. Distance formula. Have you ever used a GPS application?
Sir,
Obviously, you have used. Yes.
there's a girl, her name is Aspa, her mic is not turning on.
Okay, we'll guide Asba. Asba, maybe you just need to check your setting. Let me show you where you'll find the settings. Okay, please focus. So, Aspa, do you see this microphone logo here? And then on the right of this microphone sign, you have a drop down menu. When you click there on your drop down menu, there are different microphones, the built in microphone of your device or laptop or tab. And if you have attached any external headphones, you can switch it from here. So maybe you just need to work on your settings because she was there in the class before. And is she there? Asba, just check your setting. You'll get to know when your microphone will start to work. Okay, now students focus on here. The last two formulas for the coordinate geometry, the distance formula. So when we locate any uh, location on the Google map, do you agree with me that it comes up with the distance as well and time
Yes.
to reach that
Yes.
location? So that is how it works. So that GPS application, it uses the distance formula. Now you need to understand this distance formula. Suppose we are on location A and we need to reach to location B. So how it will find the distance? Simple. You know that location A on the graph, it must have x1 and y1 as the coordinates. Agree?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
the location where you want to reach, that is B, it also need to, it's also have the coordinates on graph, which is point B. So for example, you started off from point A and then you need to reach to point B and then you locate that location on the Google map. So that's how it works. So the distance formula is to find the distance between the 2 points when their coordinates are given x1, y1, x2, y2. So AB. So we write AB, and do you see the two vertical lines before A, one before A and the other after B? Those two vertical lines represents modulus. Modulus is a function in mathematics which is used to ignore the negative value and it only takes the positive value. Now you may be wondering that which negative value I'm referring to. Do you remember that when we take the square root, it always comes up with a positive and a negative sign? You remember that? This is the rule in mathematics that whenever you take square root on any number, it always comes from positive and negative. It always comes up with the positive and a negative sign. What's the reason? What is the square of what is the whole square of -2?
-4.
No, it's
4.
+4. You can check it with your calculator. Minus two's whole square is 4. And do you agree 2 square is also 4?
Yes.
So we exactly do not know
Yes.
this thing that from where that 4 comes from. Either this 4 comes from the square of -2 or the square that 4 comes from the square of 2. That's why when we take square root, we always put this +4 so that when the square root of the square number would be taken, it becomes like this. Do you understand? Because we exactly do not know from where this 4 comes from, either from the square of -2 or from the square of 2. That's why whensoever we take square root in mathematics, it always comes up with this plus and minus sign. So obviously I'm taking square root over here as well because the formula is AB, or the distance between point A and B, equals to square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So obviously it must comes up with positive and negative sign. But just because we are taking this modulus, it will ignore the negative sign because it is distance. Do you agree? If you are done with the physical quantities in physics, you know this thing that distance can never be negative. Have you ever covered a negative distance?
No.
The distance is always positive because it's a scalar quantity.
Yes.
And that is why we take this modulus when we calculate the distance between the 2 points, just because we want to ignore the negative value which comes with the square root. That's why we do not write plus and minus sign here, because it is the modulus. Now the question is how x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Let me tell you how. Okay, you start off from this point. Suppose that was 5 kilometer mark. And then you end up here at 30 kilometer mark. How much distance you have covered?
25
25.
kilometer.
How? How? By subtracting the
30 minus
final
5.
point from the initial point?
25 kilometer.
Yeah, agree? By
Yes.
subtracting the final, by subtracting the initial point from the final point?
Yes.
So what is the final point?
Yes.
Do you agree x2 is the final point? And
Yes.
x1 is the,
Yes.
so is it okay x2 minus x1 to find the, and
Yeah.
plus y2 minus y1? and then we take whole square. It comes from Pythagoras theorem of trigonometry. So do you understand why we have x2 minus x1 and y2 minus y1 in this formula? Because we are finding the distance between point A, B. And A, B means initial point is A and final point is B. Do you understand? A, B means
Yes.
initially started off with the A and ending up at B. So final point is B and initial point is A. Any doubt, students, in understanding the distance formula, which is square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square?
No, sir.
No doubt. Now
No.
understand the
No.
midpoint coordinate formula. What does midpoint coordinate formula means? Midpoint coordinate means to find the midpoint of the two coordinates. Do you agree that A and B over here, they have a midpoint? Obviously, like for
Yes.
example, we started off from city A, and then there is city B, and then meanwhile there is another city exactly in the middle of city A or in the center of city A and B, which is city C. So do you agree city C would be considered as the midpoint of A and B?
Yes.
So midpoint formula is very easy. Just add up the x coordinate, divide them by 2, and then add up some of the y coordinates and then divide them by 2 because it's midpoint. That's why we are dividing it with 2. And remember, this is coordinate formula. So that's why we write it in coordinate form. Midpoint coordinates. What is the midpoint x coordinate? X1 plus x2 over 2, comma. What is the midpoint of y coordinate? Y1 plus y2 over 2. So remember that this midpoint coordinate formula is in the form of coordinate. It is not distance that you can write it without brackets. So this must be written in the bracket just like we write x comma y in bracket, just like we represent the two coordinates of a point. That's how we also represent the midpoint of any line. Sum them up, divide them by 2. That's how you get x midpoint coordinate of x coordinate, midpoint of x coordinate and midpoint of y coordinate. Now, no doubt, students? Do you want me to start
No.
with
No.
some questions? Let's start with the questions here for the coordinate geometry. Starting off with question number 1. That's a very easy question, and I don't want to solve this one. That's why it's already filled here. They say that in question number 1, the diagrams, okay, let me remove it and then we'll, okay. The diagram shows two sides of a rhombus A, B, C, D. Do you know what is rhombus? Is that how the rhombus looks like?
Mm,
Do you agree that rhombus have parallel, opposite sides parallel?
Yes.
yes.
So they want us to draw the rhombus. Obviously, to draw the rhombus, there must be the other two sides because rhombus is what? It's a quadrilateral with the opposite sides parallel. That's how it looks like. Do you agree that the two red
Yes.
lines that I have added here makes this a rhombus?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, done. Write down the coordinate of A. So what are the coordinates of A? Minus 2 comma 3. Agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Now let's have some serious questions here from the question number 2. Find y equals to mx plus c. Find the value of y. That's too simple, not difficult one. So they just want us to find the value of y. So what is y? Y is mx plus c. Let's substitute the value of m, that is minus 2, value of x, that is minus 7, and value of c, that is minus 3. So y equals to minus 2 times minus 7 is plus 14, plus minus minus 14 minus 3 is 11. Doubt, students?
No.
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 Question number 3. The point A has coordinate 4 minus 4 comma 6. Point B has coordinate 7 minus 2. Calculate the length AB, length of the line AB. What does this length of the line AB means? Do they want us to
Yeah,
calculate the distance formula?
yeah.
So what is distance formula? Distance
Um,
formula is
and
AB equals to
square root
AB, yeah, square root of,
of x2 minus x1 square
very well done.
plus y2 minus y1 square.
Okay, now let's mark few of these points. Let this be y2. So it's your choice, students. You don't need to worry about where is x2 and where is x1. It's okay. That's your choice, either to take this 6 as y2. But remember, if you're taking this as y2, then minus 4 must be x2. Don't consider it x1. It would be wrong. And if that 6 is y2, obviously this minus 2, which is the y coordinate of b, must be y1. And this 7 must become x1. Now let's substitute that in our distance formula to find the distance or the length of the line AB with the coordinate minus 4 comma 6 as A and 7 comma minus 2 as B. X2 here is minus 4 minus X1 is 7 whole square plus Y2 is 6 minus Y1 is minus 2 whole square. Now AB comes out to be, you need to put that in your calculator. So minus 4 minus 7 is minus 11. Minus 11 square is 121. 6 minus minus 2 is 6 plus 2. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 square is 64. So 121 plus 64 is 185. So the square root of 185 is 13.60. Doubt, students?
No.
With no
Yes.
units. Why there is no units? Because it is just the coordinates. There no units are mentioned, so you don't need to write the units. Any
Okay.
doubt?
No.
Moving on to question number 4 here. So there is a line L and it is intercepting the y-axis at point 3. Agree. Do you agree this is the y-intercept? Yes. What do you think?
Yes.
0 comma, is that 0 comma 3? Because on y-axis all the x points are 0,
Yes.
and this
Yes.
3 is c. C is what? Y-intercept. Okay, let's see what they want from this line. The diagram shows the straight line which passes through the point 0 comma 3 and 4 comma 11. Now let's be wise here. Let this 11 be y2, and then this 4 would become x2, and this 3 would be y1, and this 0 would be x1. They want you to find the equation of the line in the form y equals to mx plus c. Before that, I must need to find m, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Is that the formula of rise over run?
Yeah.
Yes.
Y2
Yes.
is 11, y1 is 3, so it must be 11 minus 3. X2 is 4, x1 is 0, it must be 4 minus 0. 11 minus 3 is 8, divided by 4 is 2. So what do we have here as the gradient? How much is the gradient?
2,
And
2.
how much is what is the y-intercept?
3.
3.
3.
3. And what is the standard form? Is that y equals to mx plus c? Now, once you have this one, just substitute the values of x and 3.
So what is x?
X and y are still there. They are the part of equation. Yes, students, tell me, do you understand how we applied y equals to mx plus c here?
Yes.
Now, now, you know that c is y-intercept and m is slope. So just substitute the value of slope and y-intercept to get the equation of the line. Now in part B,
Okay.
that's something interesting in part B. Line P is perpendicular to line L. Barira, am I audible to you?
Sorry.
Okay. So line P is perpendicular. There is another line. Let me draw here. Suppose that, suppose that, now please focus here. Suppose that there is a line L like this. And then there is another line P which is perpendicular to that line. Perpendicular means that the lines are at 90 degree. This one was line 1 and that's no, that's line L and that's line P. Okay. Now line L is perpendicular to line B. Is that given? What is the
Yeah.
slope of line L? Did we calculated the slope of line L? Yeah, that was line L. Do you agree that that was line L? Did we calculate the line
Yes.
L slope in part A? How much was that?
2.
2.
2. So slope of line L is 2. Then what must be the slope of line P?
We're gonna calculate it like -1/2.
Exactly. Do you students, do you agree that we just need to change the sign from positive, the sign turns negative, and then we flip the fraction that is 2 over 1 and it becomes 1 over 2 because the two lines are perpendicular and we know that if the two lines are perpendicular, their slopes must be negative reciprocal of each other.
Yes.
Yes.
We apply the same thing here. Those lines with the slope as those lines with the which are perpendicular to each other, obviously their slopes are negative reciprocal.
Yes. So sir, it's like the product of m1 and m2 is -1.
Yeah, I've told the easier way if you remember. Just change the sign and flip the fraction to get the slope of the perpendicular line. Change the
Yeah.
sign, flip the fraction, change the line, and change the sign and flip the fraction. Okay. Now what they want, write down the gradient. Are we done? Is that the gradient of the line P?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. They want us like gradient. Doesn't gradient means m?
Yeah.
So we have got the gradient of line p as minus 1 over 2. Students doubt?
No.
Now let's focus on to this one. Find the equation of the line passing through. How do we find the equation of the line? Equation of the line is y equals to mx plus c. How we'll find? Is there any graph given? No.
No
Do
graph.
you know do you know how to find the equation of the line when the graph is given? Yes. Did we solve this question here? This one. Yes, this one. Over here, do we have graph given?
Yes.
And are
Yes.
we provided with the y-intercept c? We just calculated, we just see it through the graph, the c, which is the y-intercept, and we calculated the slope by just checking out the points. But in this question, graph is not given. So how we'll solve that? Let me show you how. So first of all, are the 2 points given?
Yes.
Yes.
With those points, we'll first mark them as y2 and x2 and y1 and x1 so to avoid any mistake. Now, with those points, we'll manage to calculate slope using the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Agree?
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
13 minus 9 over minus 3 minus 5. Okay, because minus is there for the formula. 13 minus 9 is what? 4. 4 over minus 8 is minus 1 over 2. Do you agree?
Yes.
So we are done finding the slope. Yes. What we need to find? What else we need to find to make an equation of the line?
Y-intercept.
Y-intercept. Now I'll show you how we'll find the y-intercept. Please focus. Now to find the y-intercept, we use the same equation y equals to mx plus c. Yes, very same equation. And do we have slope now?
Yes.
Do we, and now you
Yes.
can use any two of these pink points. Those do mention here. Tell me which point do you want to use? You'll get the same answer using any point. So you don't need to worry which one to use. But let
5
me
and
take
9.
choice.
Five
Okay, do
and
you
nine.
want me to Okay, do you want me to use 5 and 9? Okay, I'm going to
Yes.
use 5 and 9 here. Check. Is value of y 9?
Yes.
What is
Yes.
the value of m?
Negative one
Um.
of two.
What is the value of x?
Five.
Okay, so 9 equals to minus 5 over
Sir,
2 plus c.
sir, can we convert -1/2 into decimal?
Yeah, yeah, it's your choice. If you want to go with the decimal, go with the decimal. No one will consider it wrong. Okay.
Okay.
So minus 5 over 2 is minus 2.5. When it moves to the left hand side, it becomes plus 2.5. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
And 9 plus 2.5 is 11.5.
Yes.
And 11.5 can be written as 23 over 2. You can use your calculator. You'll get 23 over 2. Now, do we have C as well?
Yes.
So, are we done finding the C?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, once you are done finding M and C, just substitute in the equation. So, y equals to mx plus c. What's your m?
-1/2.
-1/2.
Let's see. Well, if you want to write it in more standard, more clear form, you can take 2 as is 2 common denominator,
Yes.
Yes.
and then you
So
can
would the
bring
answer
all.
be 11?
No, answer is read the question, what they want you to find. Read the question first.
Okay, they want the equation.
Equation. So didn't we get the equation in that step? I'm just simplifying for your sake. Even
Okay.
this one, that we're done here. Even if you provide this equation, that's it. They ask you to provide the equation, you're done. I'm just simplifying this equation. Sometimes they do ask to simplify the equation. So minus x when moves to the other side becomes plus x. Okay, so you can, this is the simplest form. So any of these would be considered correct. Either this one, or this one. All would be considered correct. Even if you stop on the first answer, that's okay. Students, do you understand how we managed to find an equation of the line without graph?
Yes.
So you
Yes.
just need to focus on to the two formulas. The one is m equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, the formula for the gradient or the slope. And the second formula, that is the slope intercept form, y equals to mx plus c. Just find the value of the gradient, the value of c by substituting any of the 2 points. Either, even if we go with minus 313, you will get the same answer. So you need to choose which point you will substitute into y equals to mx plus c with the value of slope, so that to calculate the value of c, which is the y-intercept. Why we need to calculate the value of c? Because graph is not given. If the graph is given, you can simply check where the line is intercepting the y-axis. That point is c. Agree? Is that the difference between question number 4 and 5? In question number 4, the graph was given. In question number 5, graph is not given. Okay.
Okay.
Now moving on to this one. Question number 6. So in question number 6, they say the 2 points are given. Find the coordinate of the midpoint. What is the midpoint formula?
x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 divided by 2.
Very well done. And let's mark any of these. That it's, there is no compulsion. You can have any of these as x2 y2 and x1 y1. Okay. Okay, now let's substitute. X1 plus x2 is minus 2 plus 5 over 2, comma, y2 plus y1 plus y2 is 2 plus 23 over. Okay, then midpoint will be minus 2 plus 5 is what? 3 over 2. So you can write it as 1.5 as well. 2 plus 23 is 25 over 2. You can write it as 12.5 as well. So that's your choice, either to write it in decimal or to write it in fraction. Both will be considered correct. Yes, students, doubt?
No.
Now they want you to find the equation of the line. So for the equation of the line, you already know we have a standard form as y equals to mx plus c. So obviously you need to find what? The slope and the y-intercept. To find the slope, which formula we use? M equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What is your y1 or y2? Y2 is 23 and y1 is 2. So 23 minus 2. What is x2 and x1? X2 is 5 and x1 is minus 2. So 5 minus minus 2, because this minus is for the formula. Now m equals to 23 minus 2 is 21. 21 over 7 is 23.
E-
Do we have m now?
yeah.
The slope. Now we need to find what? We need to find y-intercept. What do we have m here? Which point you want me to use, students? Tell me which point you want me to use out of the 2
minus two,
points.
minus 2 and 2.
Minus 2 and 2. Okay, I'm using minus 2 comma 2. So y value is 2, m value is 3, x value is minus 2, and then we have c. 2 equals to minus 6 plus c. 2 plus 6 equals to c, and c comes out to be 8. Agree?
Yes.
Now we
Yes.
use the same formula here, and then we substitute the values of m, which is 3, and c, which is 8. Doubt, students? Yes. Doubt? No doubt?
No.
Yes. Areej, Aline, Aspa, Barira, Ishal, Hanima, and Ira.
No, sir.
No.
No,
No.
sir.
Okay, now last part. Show that the point 3 comma 17 lies on line AB. Now remember, students, if any point line, if at any point lies on the line, remember, if any point lies on the line, then it must satisfy the equation of that line. It must satisfy the equation of that line. Now you may be wondering, what does it mean to satisfy the equation of the line? Do we have the equation for line AB? Yes,
Yeah.
we have. Yes, we have calculated the equation of line AB in part B. Do you agree? Is that y equals to 3x plus 8?
Yes.
If this 3 comma 17 lies on the line, then it must satisfy the line. How? Let me show you how. Satisfies means that it must equate. So what is the value of y? Is that 17? And what is the value
Yes.
of x?
3.
3. Remember that 3 is x, and let this screen be y. So is it satisfying? Equation satisfied. So 3 comma 17 lie on line AB. Yes, students. Do you understand that or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's solve this one and then we'll move on. So
Sir, can you
we
explain the above one again?
look part C only.
Yes.
Read the statement in part C.
Show that the point 317 lies on the line AB.
We have the equation for line AB that we have calculated in part B.
Yeah.
And what is that?
Y is equal to 3x plus 8.
Now read the statement that I have written here.
If any point lies on the line, then it must satisfy the equation of that line.
So equation is what? Is that y equals to 3x plus 8?
Yes.
And the points are what? 3 comma 17.
Yes.
We
So
just
if it's
substitute.
equal, then it means that
Yeah,
that
satisfying the
point lies
equation
on
means
the.
that the right hand side of the equation must be equal to the left hand side. Do we have 17 and 17 on the either side of the equation now after substituting those 2
Yes.
points? Which means that
Yeah.
the equation is satisfied. And if the equation is satisfied, it means that the point 3 comma 17 lies on the line AB.
Yeah.
Okay, any doubt? So we have this one as y2, this one as x2, this one as y1, and this one as x1. So first of all, they want us to find the equation of the line, which is obviously y equals to mx plus c. Now to find m, I have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what do we have as y2? I have y2 as 5, y1 as minus 1, so 5 minus minus 1. And then I have x2 as 3, 3 minus 0, which means 3. So m comes out to be 2. Students, do you agree that slope comes out to be 2 because it is 6 over 3, which is 2? Yes.
Yes.
And then to find the C, which point you want me to use to find C?
The first one.
The 3 and 5 one.
3 and 5, so 3 comma 5, and 5 is the value of y, 2 is the value of slope, 3 is the value of x. So 5 equals to 6 plus c. 5 minus 6 equals to c. So c equals to minus 1. Do you agree that we have got c as minus 1?
Yes.
Now just substitute, let write y equals to mx plus c again. And then just substitute the value of c and m. M is 2, c is minus 1. This is the equation of the line. Now students, yes, please doubt.
No.
Okay, this one question number 8, a bit different than the previous questions. Two lines, y equals to 2x plus 8 and y equals to 2x minus 12, intersect the x-axis at P and Q. Now check out the two lines. How I get to know that they intersect the x-axis and how I get to know that the point is minus 4 comma 0. Do you agree that to find the x-intercept I substitute y as 0 and to find y-intercept I substitute x as 0? Is it correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Now check out the first equation. What is the first equation? Is that y equals to 2x plus 8?
Yes.
What if I substitute x as 0? Y equals to 2x plus 8. Let me substitute x as 0. Why I am substituting x as 0? Because I am finding what? Y-intercept. Now tell me, what is y-intercept? Is that 8? And
Yes.
check the graph. Did I cut the one line at 8?
Yes.
And now let's
Yes.
find the x-intercept of the same line. So to find the x-intercept of any line, what we do? We put y as 0.
Y is equal to 0.
So minus 8 equals to 2x and minus 8 over 2 equals to x and x equals to minus 4. Do you understand that how we got the x-intercept as minus 4 for this line?
Yes. Yes.
So is that minus
Sir, could
4?
you
Check.
explain it one more time?
Yeah, obviously 10 more times. No issue. Look, y-intercept means where the line cuts the y-axis and x-intercept means where the line cuts the x-axis. Now remember, to find y-intercept, we substitute x as 0, and to find x-intercept, we substitute y as 0. Is it easy to remember?
Yes.
Okay, now check what is the first equation given here. Y equals to, yeah, 2x plus 8. Is that the first equation? Y equals to 2x plus 8 given in the question.
Yes.
Now y equals to 2x plus 8. Now tell me how I will find the y-intercept. Obviously by substituting x as 0 in this equation.
Yes.
When we substituted x as 0 in this equation, what we have got?
If we
Y equals
like
to,
add it, so yeah, 8 because 200.
yeah, 2 times 0 is 0, 0 plus 8 is 8. So do you understand that y-intercept of the first equation is 8?
Yes.
And then do you understand how I got the x-intercept by substituting y0?
Yes.
So check out the graph of this line. Do you agree that x-intercept, I marked x-intercept as 8 and I marked y-intercept as a and I marked x-intercept as minus 4, comma 0.
Yes.
Now let's do the same thing for the second line because the question is bit complex. Now let me show you how. So what is the second equation, students?
2x minus
Y
12.
is equal
2x.
to 2x minus 12.
Exactly, y equals to 2x minus 12. Now to find y-intercept, do you agree that I substitute x as 0?
Yes.
So is this the y-intercept of the second line?
Yes.
The minus 12, sorry. Do you agree that minus 12? Okay. Now to find x-intercept, should I substitute y0 in the same equation?
Yes.
So what is the x-intercept?
12 divided by 2, 6.
Now check the second line. Do you agree that y-intercept is minus 12 and x-intercept is 6?
Yes.
Do you understand how I made how I draw this diagram? By this information that I have collected that information from the equations and then I draw the two lines. Are the two lines parallel? That's what they mention? No. But
Yes.
I know that they are parallel. Now, how do I get to know that the two lines are parallel? Yes, students.
They're like not like what is
They're
they're not
equal.
cutting each other.
They're not
They're like
intercepting
equal.
How I get to know this diagram is drawn by me? How do I
Because
get to
they're
know
not
that the lines are
they're not
parallel?
they're not intercepting.
They're
So
not
you are
like
not
cutting
understanding.
each other.
me.
No, you are not understanding my
Their
question.
slope their slope is same.
But how this diagram is drawn by me? How I get to you are all of you are answering according to this diagram, according to this sketch. Suppose
Um
that there is no
also,
sketch.
sir,
Yeah.
because the
Check
coefficient
the
of
We
both
y.
line is
solved
2,
it.
the
Yes, that's
coefficient
the
of
right answer.
x is
Don't
2.
you think? Yes, exactly. That's the right answer. Don't you find the value of m? Is it written in y equals to mx plus c form? Or the both equations, are they written in y equals to mx plus c form?
Yes.
Don't you find the value
Yes.
of m as 2 for both?
Yes.
Do you understand how to extract information from the question? These two lines are parallel. It's not written in the question, but it is obvious because their m is 2 for both. Same slope. Which lines have same slope?
Parallel.
Parallel. So that's why. So do you understand how I mark these 8, minus 12, minus 4 comma 0 and 6 comma 0? Obviously, by finding
E-
the x and y intercept, we find the y intercept by substituting the x value 0, and we find x intercept by substituting the y value 0. Got it? Now the question was a bit complex. Why? Check what they ask.
the distance.
PQ. How I get to know that this point is P? Because they mention the two lines intersect the x-axis at P, and
Q.
so do you intersecting the x-axis means x-intercept? Do you agree?
Yes.
Are these the two intercept that I have calculated using the by substituting y as 0 in both equations?
Yes.
And now they want me to find this purple highlighted distance. Agree? The PQ.
Yes.
And do I have the distance formula to find this PQ?
Yes.
Exactly. You now get to know why we need to draw this diagram, because at the end we need to find this distance, and to understand which distance to find we must need to draw the diagram correctly using the information provided in the question. Okay, so now any
Sir,
of
in
these
some
could be.
questions, do they already give a drawn diagram?
Yeah, obviously, like these are the topical questions. Let me tell you, tomorrow you may encounter some of these questions. Believe me, I don't waste students' time solving book questions, exercise 5D or 7D or 5A, 5B. Those questions they never appear in exam. So what I do, I always explain the topic to my students, and then after explaining the topic I directly jump on to the topical or the classified past papers. These are the topical past papers that we are solving since the start of the class. They are not any of the book questions, or like not no, these are the questions that we have, like yesterday we have solved a lot of factorization and quadratic formula questions, and they all are topical past paper. These are the questions that have been appeared in the past. So I don't
Okay.
waste time solving book questions. I always prefer to go with the topical past paper questions, because in that way you'll get to know the difficulty level of question that you will face in the exam. So most probably tomorrow you may encounter few of these questions, because in PISES they used to set up the paper from the topical past paper. That's what they are doing since last 10 years. I'm teaching PISES students since 10 years. So that's how it works.
Okay.
Okay. So now let's apply this distance formula. But before I apply the distance formula, I must need to uh, classify these points. So let this 0 be y2, this be 6 be x2, this 0 be y1, and this minus 4 be x1. So x2 minus x1 is 6 minus minus 4 whole square plus, and then x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1 is 0 minus 0 because it is just a horizontal line. Do you understand why y coordinates are 0? Because it is a horizontal line. Agree? And horizontal lines do not have y coordinates. You know that. It's just a run. Do you understand? The purple shaded portion on the graph is just a run.
Yes.
Yes. So I
That's
see
why it
that.
doesn't have. So 6 minus minus 4 is 6 plus 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 square is 100. 100 under root is 10.
Yeah.
Now, now students, last one, write down the equation. Okay, write down the equation of the line with the gradient minus 4. How much is the gradient value? Minus 4.
Minus 4.
And it is passing from,
0, 5.
5.
what is this 5? Anyone recognize it or not yet? Don't you think this 5 is C? Why?
Y-intercept?
How? Yes, exactly. But how we get to know that this is C?
Because
Always
it's
remember, yes, yes,
because it's
because
passing through y and then x is 0 on y-axis.
exactly, because if you check out this X point, is that X point?
Yes.
And when X is zero, when X is zero, then it must be a
Y.
Y-intercept.
Yeah.
When X is zero, it must be a Y-intercept. So we have got this coordinate where X is zero, then obviously the Y point must be the Y-intercept.
Yes.
And that's why it is just a 2 mark question because you don't need to do any effort here. Just simply substitute the value of gradient and the C. Agree? Students.
No.
Moving on to part C, find the equation of the line parallel to the line in part D. If the lines are parallel, then the slopes must be equal.
Same.
And it is passing from where?
Uh, why
5
do you
and 4.
Now
say?
tell me, is 4C?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Oh
Why
yeah,
4
it's the
is not?
coordinate point.
Because do we have
Because
x as 0 here?
No.
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 Obviously, if x is not 0, we cannot consider it at y as y-intercept or C. Agree? So we need to
Yeah.
look for C.
Yes.
How we look for C? We use the same formula
Y
y
equal to
equals to
mx
mx.
plus c.
Then
We
Y
put
is
y
4
as
is
4
equal to
and
minus
minus
4,
4.
5 plus c. And then
so
we're
how much is
gonna
C?
4 plus 20, 24 c.
Exactly. And then we again apply y equals to mx plus c and we just substitute the value of m and c.
Yeah.
Is that the answer?
Yes. Because they asked us to find the equation.
Yes. Doubt.
No.
No doubt at all. I think that's enough for the coordinate geometry. Don't find any difficult questions. And now, do you want me to jump on to similarity now?
Um,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
the last thing I need to mention, do you know about the perpendicular bisector?
No.
So we
Do
haven't
you-
learned that.
Or, or
No, we
Mm,
learned that, but we
is
just
it
learned
not
that from
included
the.
in your assessment?
No, no. It was something my teacher told me something, but I don't really remember it.
Like, is it included in your exam assessment tomorrow or not?
Yeah, it is in coordinate
No.
geometry then.
Okay, so let's understand the last thing, which is the perpendicular bisector. What does the word perpendicular means?
That it's on
Something at
90
90
degree.
degree? Yeah,
Yeah.
right angle means the perpendicular, a line that is straight, perpendicular. If one line is perpendicular to the other line, it means that they are at 90 degree. That's what we have understood from the perpendicular lines. Now, bisector means the word bi means two, and sector means parts. Just bicycle, it has two tires. That's why it is called as bicycle. Binoculars, yes, bipolar, so the word bi means two. So perpendicular bisector means a line that cuts the other line at 90 degree into two equal paths. Do you understand what does a perpendicular bisector means?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
Do you see two lines on the screen? One a horizontal line red and then the other blue line vertical. That blue vertical line is called the perpendicular bisector of the red line AB. And the reason is because it is perpendicular. How I get to know it's perpendicular? Because there is a 90 degree at the intersecting point, and it also cuts the line AB into two equal parts. Line AB has a length of 10 centimeter, and the blue line is passing through the line AB's center, which is intersecting it into two equal parts of 5 and 5 centimeters. Do you agree?
Yes.
So obviously, if it is a perpendicular bisector, obviously it is passing from the center, which is the midpoint of AB. Agree?
Yes.
So what is a
Yes.
perpendicular bisector? Perpendicular bisector is a line that passes through the other line from the center to split it into two equal parts, and also that line is perpendicular. Agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Now let's understand
Yes.
one last question where they ask us to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. Okay, in that way it will cover. Just focus on to the look. Let me tell you an interesting fact. My students, they don't like that, usually they don't study before the exams, because I prepared them so well before the exams that they don't take any like depression of the exam or the assessment. They don't get scared of assessments. The reason is they just focus during my class. And I restrict students to note down anything. You don't need to note down anything in my class. And the reason is because I like these notes are in real time, they would be shared with you. Obviously, you people are a guest users here. Ariha, she's a permanent member. She's having a registered, licensed user credentials. So these working, everything that I solve, every question I solve, everything, every explanation that I give to my students, it is readily available to their OneNote in real time. In real time means whatever I'm writing here, they are getting that in the real time. At the same time, they're getting that content there. Okay, so in my class, I don't prefer, or really I restrict students to noting down things. You just need to focus on the screen. If you understand it well, believe me, whatever the question, wherever it comes from, either from the topical past papers or it comes from any other curriculum, you don't need to worry for the question. You don't need to get scared of the question if you are well prepared. And preparation doesn't mean, like, usually tutors, they refer preparation with the practice. They may say you that you need to practice a lot of mathematics to get A star. This is not the case. I've been teaching since 15 years. I'm almost teaching 12 years here in Kingdom. I have my own institute, I have my own faculty. I'm the founder of Virtual Academia and Zone Loop AI Academia, Canada, and KSA. I have a faculty of 24 tutors. I usually don't teach students. I prefer to teach students in groups. I don't deal individual with the individual one-to-one tuitions. I usually have 10 to 15 group of students in each batch, and I only teach one batch. Rest of my badges, rest of our badges of institute, they have been taught by other tutors, which are the part of faculty. I'm heading all those 24 tutors. So what my methodology is, if you focus during my class, you don't need to do a lot of practice to get A star or A in mathematics. Similar is the case with physics and chemistry. Have I left teaching physics and chemistry, but last year I've started only. I'm just taking one batch because of my busy schedule. So even with the physics and chemistry, you don't need to do a lot of questions, a lot of past paper practice, a lot of mathematics. Just focus on to the topic, understand the fundamentals, and apply the mathematical rule. You must need to be good in basic algebra to construct equations. You can in every topic, whether it's probability, statistic, coordinate geometry, trigonometry, geometry, in all the content of IGCSE, if you're good in algebra, if you're good in understanding the equations, if you're good in creating the equations, you don't need to worry. Just remember or memorize the formulas and go with the flow. You don't need to worry about getting wrong if you have good fundamental concepts, if you have attended my class with the focus. Now let's start with question number 2. Let me show you how we'll apply everything that we have studied today in this question. So question number 2, A is the point minus 2 comma 0. So let me mark A here. This is A. Do you agree that A is the x-intercept of this line?
Yes.
And B is the point 0 comma 4. What is the value of C? 4. Do you agree because this is the y-intercept of this line?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what they want you to do in part A, find the
Um.
equation of the straight line joining A and B. And for the straight line, first step we do is to calculate the
Slope.
slope. Yeah. What is the formula for the slope?
X, y2 minus y1 over
M
x2
equals to
minus.
y2 minus y1 x2 divided by x. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's rise over run. So you can take any of the values as x2 and the other as y2. So I'm taking 4 as y2. So 4 minus y1 must be 0. And I'm taking x2 as, obviously I took 4 as y2. So x2 must be 0. 0 minus, what is x1? X1 is minus 2. So slope comes out to be 4 over plus 2, that is 2. Now we need to apply y equals to mx plus c. Do we have c here? Yes, students, do we have c here?
Yes.
Yes, c is already there in the graph. Sometime when the graph is given, you have to do less work. If the graph is given, is that the equation of the line AB? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we are done with part A. Now in part B, in part B, what they say, find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of AB. Now, first of all, let me draw perpendicular bisector of AB just for your information. So, what does perpendicular bisector means? Perpendicular bisector means a line
A
that is at
line.
90 degree.
Yes.
Okay, so suppose that
With
this is at 90 degree. And
it divide.
bisector means that it divides the line, it cuts the line at the center, from the center,
Yes. Two
which
sides.
is which is midpoint.
Yeah.
Okay. And what they want you to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. Do you agree that this purple shaded line is the perpendicular bisector?
Yes.
We have nothing here. We have no information. We don't have any point on that line. We don't have the slope of that line. We don't have the y-intercept for this line. So how we get to know, or how we calculate, or how we find the equation of this perpendicular bisector? That's the question.
Um. uh,
First of all, tell me, what must be the slope of this perpendicular bisector? This is the sign of perpendicular, remember. Okay, this is the sign of perpendicular. So what is the slope of this purple shaded line? Yes, please.
Minus. We'll take the negative reciprocal.
Exactly. Do we have the slope value for line AB?
Yeah. And one.
How much is that?
Yes.
Two.
2.
Two.
Then this must be minus 1 over 2, the negative reciprocal.
Yeah.
Okay, so to find the equation of the line, we must need to know two things. One is the slope. Are we done with the slope?
Yes.
And the other
Yes.
is
Y
y-intercept.
intercept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How we get to know the y-intercept? Y-intercept, for y-intercept, we must need at least 1 point on that line to use. Do you agree?
Yes.
That's how we used in the previous question. If you remember, I shaded those pink points every time. I asked you to choose the point like this one, which point to choose, which point to choose, so that we substitute that 1 point into the y equals to mx plus c equation and then to find c. But do we have any point on this purple shaded line?
No.
But we can find one. How? Using midpoint formula. Do you agree that midpoint exactly lie on both lines? Because midpoint is the intersecting point of line AB and the purple shaded line. Agree?
Yes.
So we can find this midpoint using formula x1 plus x2 over 2, comma y1 plus y2 over 2. We'll find this midpoint and we'll use that midpoint coordinate to find the value of C. Agree?
Yes.
Yes.
So x1 plus x2 is what? 0, 0, okay, minus 2 plus 0. Minus 2 plus 0 over 2, comma, 0 plus
0
4
plus 4.
over 2. So midpoint comes out to be minus 1, comma 2. Yes, students, do you agree with this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do we have coordinate? Do we have slope and do we have coordinate?
Yeah.
We can use minus 1 comma 2.
Yes.
That's the only coordinate we have. So y is what? 2. M is what?
Minus 1
Minus
over
1
2.
over 2. X is what?
2. No, minus.
So minus 1 time 1 is 1 over 2. 2 minus half is what? Is that 1.5 or 3 over 2? Then what must be equation? That is how we find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. Now, do you understand what is perpendicular bisector?
Yeah.
Yes, girls, doubt.
No.
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 Anything from coordinate geometry.
No, I think that's it.
There is no more topic for coordinate geometry, and I have explained you questions from every type.
Yes.
That is the only thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And done with the coordinate geometry, done with the. Okay. So similarity left, and the or
Yes.
I don't think so we can do with the what you call it, the quadratic graph. And Irha, I am done with the similarity with you if you remember.
Yes, sir.
So we do have with the recording there on your channel.
Yes.
So girls, I would share recording link with you. Okay.
Okay.
For similarity, let me share recording link for you. I'll try to share the link of yesterday's class as well. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
If you want me to create a WhatsApp group to give you these notes, let me know. Or let Irha know. She'll create the group and add you all. Where I'll share the recording for the similarity topic and the yesterday's class recording and today's class recording with these notes as well.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So we're done with everything except the quadratic graph. That's a very long topic. I was like initially when Irha shared the content detail wasn't there, because if it was there, I may start it sooner. Okay. So best of luck for your
Okay.
exam tomorrow. And if you would create a group, I would obviously would send you some resources like the recording of the class and the notes and maybe some worksheet to do. Okay.
Yes.
So that's
Okay.
it for today. Wait for me to share the link for similarity in few minutes. Obviously, create the group. Ira, you may create the group, and then I'll share the resources there. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
Allah Hafiz, sir.
Office. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Aline, I'm sharing the video. We are done with all the topics. I'm sharing the video uh, recording of the similarity topic. Okay. Irha will create a WhatsApp group and I'll share the resources there. Thank you for joining the class. We are done.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Welcome.